Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Reacting Chill. I am Dika. So last time on Bleach, we got that big reveal where we found out Ichigo's dad, Isshin Kurosaki, is actually a Soul Reaper. He has kept the secret from his son. Not sure why. Even Cone was surprised that that same goofy guy was this big badass Soul Reaper. Not just that, he's a captain. In that interaction he had with Urahara, we found out that Grand Fisher was technically a prototype on his way to become like the perfected or the perfect Arrancar, and they realized that it was Aizen who was behind this, essentially using forbidden techniques to technically try and perfect these group of hollows in having Soul Reaper abilities. Now they also deduced that he was going to perfect these Arrancars and then with them, along with the Menos Grande, take over the world. So there's a battle coming. They also knew that the Vizards had contacted Ichigo, and with the Vizards we did meet another Vizard. I'm assuming she's another Vizard. Her name is Hiyori. She was a friend of Shinji's, or maybe not literally a friend of Shinji's, but somebody that knew Shinji on the same team. And Shinji hasn't given up in recruiting him, but with the Vizards, along with the Vizards, the Soul Society, they're essentially preparing for an upcoming war. So everyone's kind of trying to fill up their ranks and trying to get ready for what's in store, and in this sense whatever Aizen's going to be raining down on them. Another thing I wanted to quickly point out from the last reaction, which I realised afterwards, was that Isshin made a really interesting comment. So when he talked about how he lets his kids go about their business, do whatever they want, he has no control over them, and Cone called him out and said, that's not the case with you and your daughters. And he talked about they're the exception to the rule. First of all, I thought maybe yes, because they're young girls and they're his daughters and he's a bit more protective of them. Or I feel like maybe they've got like a special power or special technique, something that he's protecting, to making sure that other outside forces, now that we know that he's a Soul Reaper and essentially somebody who had come from the Soul Society, come from the Serete, and has been living in the world of the living. Maybe his daughters have powers. Maybe his daughters have some special technique, something that he is protecting, and therefore having to keep a close eye on them and keeping him close to him. And finally, wrapping it all up, after that ultimatum that Ryuken had given Uryu had gone to his father at the end of the episode to basically take him up on his offer to help get his Quincy powers back in exchange for never associating with Soul Reapers. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened last time. Here we are with episodes 113 and 114. Oh my god. Oh.
Hey, wait. Ichigo?
Man, he didn't even fight back.
Hey, I know. Tell me about your old man. Did you notice him acting differently from his usual self?
Oh.
Ichigo? Is something wrong?
It's nothing.
Huh?
Shinji got into his head.
Could you guys leave me alone? Ever since my fight with Byakuya, the mask kept coming back. No matter how many times I threw it away. It's going to happen much faster than that! See? I'm even closer to you than I was a moment ago!
I want to know what's going on with you. I know all about your secret. I know you're a Soul Reaper.
Oh.
I have a reading! Position 3600 to 4000, eastern section of Karakura.
He's gonna try and laugh it off.
That's ridiculous. Soul Reaper? I think you finally lost it, Karin.
Don't play dumb with me.
Damn, what on earth?
All of your spiritual pressure.
And Isshin.
Do you think that was an earthquake just now, Dad?
She's gonna see him literally. Yeah.
Reporting a message from Squad 12, sir. Arrancars have been detected in the eastern section of Karakura.
Ooh. Oh. Those are the fully developed Arrancars. I've seen pictures of them. That's why.
I came here a few times while I was masked. I see the world of the living hasn't changed at all. Still boring as ever. You better stop staring at me or I'll suck out your souls.
Oof. Oh my god. They can't see you. What do you mean stop staring at you? From this far away.
Chad, wait!
It's no use, Orihime. That guy's dead. Only you can save the survivors.
Getting a bad feeling about this.
I'm counting on you. How many in the world of the living are we supposed to kill anyway?
Only one. I've been told there are only 3 people here who have enough spiritual pressure to put up a fighting. There seems to be a survivor.
What just happened to me?
Tatsuki.
Hey, Ukiora! Is she one?
Her soul's about to be crushed just from you standing close to her, you idiot. She's trash.
What the frick? Oh. Yes, Chad.
Listen to me carefully. Take Tatsuki and get out of here now.
Just please be careful, Chad.
You should be able to tell with one glance this individual is trash.
So I see.
Chad, speak to me. Chad!
Ukiora!
Yes, she's trash.
Ichigo. Oh. Oh, good.
How are you able to heal that guy? In fact, how can he even still be alive?
This is not a healing technique. She's either reversing time or space.
I know I can't do much, but I can at least do this. Tsubaki!
I hope Tsubaki doesn't get destroyed. Oh my
What
god,
was
he...
that thing? A fly?
Tsubaki!
Oh, catch this Zengetsu. Just realised it was in the Soul Society when they realised... It was in the Soul Society they picked up the arrival of the Arrancars in the world of the living in this town.
If I was stronger, I could have stopped this.
There's no need for you to apologize. Bunkai!
Oh shit! He went straight into Bankai?
This doesn't feel like Ichigo at all.
It's because he's got his hollow side up in that place about to cause havoc.
The orange hair, the black bunkai. No doubt about it. This is our target, Yami.
It ain't gonna be that easy, Yami.
You gonna do something about it?
That music says he will. Oh my god!
His spiritual pressure is strong.
Damn! You little runt!
Surprised you can stand there and call me names. Cracked hollow mask. Hole in his chest and Zanpakuto.
He's a...
Knew I felt something odd about their spiritual pressure. Switch!
You say switch!
I don't need you.
Oh. I admire Orihime's courage, but she needs to realize when she is out. Oh, ouch! Ow!
Damn it! I can't move my body. His spiritual pressure, it keeps fluctuating. 1 second it's normal, and then it suddenly spikes. But when it's high, it's stronger than mine.
Oh. I wonder if Aizen knows that he's a Vizard. Like, does Aizen have that detail? It's a shield? Orihime?
Hey there.
Oh!
Sorry I couldn't get here a little sooner.
Nice!
Sucker!
He's gonna F him up. Oh, nice. Sensu beans. I really like the I really like the animation switch off in this episode. Oh, that's a Seto? Oh, damn.
I simply took the offensive and responded with a similar attack.
That's impossible.
Damn.
Now scream. Benehime!
Oh, nice. Ah! This is getting sick. He knew that was gonna hurt him.
At your current level, you wouldn't last 5 minutes against the two of them.
Is he gonna kill him?
Let's go.
Oh,
Normally, I'd be happy to oblige, but we've completed our mission here.
to get data.
It's time we deliver our report to Lord Aizen.
The Arrancar's exterior had stronger spiritual pressure than I had anticipated. They're strong, Kisuke.
So she got hurt from fighting Yami. Ichigo. Ichigo is going through something. He's literally having an identity crisis.
Damn it!
How can he go back to school as normal after all of that?
I have no one else to blame but myself for getting hurt like this.
I agree.
It's all because I'm weak. I don't know what I can do.
I lost it.
Oh,
Wait.
that's just great.
That sounds like...
Reggie could lead us, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh my god, what on earth are they doing here? I was gonna say, that sounds like Rangiku. Like, it's like when they were walking and I think it's a guy, Toshiro is with them, but Renji is definitely there.
Give me a break.
He's tattooed up.
Besides, I
He's
don't...
gonna walk in.
Yo! What's going on, Ichigo? We were sent here to join forces with the substitute Soul Reaper and prepare for the battle. Arrancar?
He wouldn't know.
What the hell's that?
Is that Rukia? She's back.
Rukia.
It's been a while, Ichigo.
Aww.
Hasn't it?
Oh! Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Unfortunately, as I was in the process of editing this episode, I'd realised I somehow lost my outro, so my wrap up of the episode and my thoughts on the general episode. So here I am re-recording it again because I really did like this episode, and not only that, we did get a chance to there were a couple of things I picked up from this episode, and we straight off the bat we finally got to meet the completed Arrancars. So like I said previously before, Grand Fisher was an incomplete test of an Arrancar, but we met the completed one. So we've got Yami and Ulquiorra. Straight off the bat, they both reminded me of Vegeta and Nappa when they first came to Earth in the Saiyan saga, especially just how Ulquiorra was talking to Yami and how Yami was kind of not really using his head or his training or his instinct. The major difference though between them is that I did note that the way Ulquiorra was talking, it's clear that the Arrancars still abide, they don't have free will, if that makes sense. They still have to abide by instructions, you know. Ulquiorra was very much like, you know, if you did your training, you know, Lord Aizen, da-da-da-da-da-da, they very much abide to their creator, their master. So that's the one thing I'd noticed, especially with their interactions. Like I mentioned before, we could see that they were incredibly powerful when is it Gonzui, when Yami used that, essentially sucking the souls out of people, incredibly dangerous. They were given intel about people who they should be, first of all, one person they needed to eliminate, which was Ichigo, and two other people they need to be worried about. I did wonder, which I don't think is the case, is I did wonder if does Aizen know about Ishin's presence, which I don't think so. I have a sneaky suspicion that not a lot of people outside of Urahara are aware of Ishin being in the Soul Society at this Ishin being in the world of the living at this moment in time. So that's going to be an interesting development later on. We can see the struggle that Ichigo is going through. I realized that with the Arrancars being hollows which have crossed the barrier to obtain Soul Reaper powers, and then obviously Soul Reapers awakening their inner hollows to become Vizards. The Arrancars and Vizards are literally two sides of the same coin. They exist in the same entity. And what's happening with Ichigo and him fighting his Vizard personality, I personally don't think Ichigo's hit Vizard level yet. That makes sense. I could only assume when Shinji becomes a Shinji is a Vizard right now. I'm assuming him and his hollow are in harmony, if that makes sense. So Ichigo and his hollow self are not in harmony. That's why they keep fighting. I do also like that when him and hollow Ichigo were like kind of battling out to see who was going to be the main host, you could see from how Ulquiorra was picking up the spikes in that the spiritual pressure is actually stronger than his, just to show how strong Vizored Ichigo is. So yeah, I don't think Ichigo has hit the harmony yet, or he's in the completed form just yet, because he's still struggling to overcome his other half. His other half, his Vizored self, they're not in harmony at the moment. I do believe that once they do hit harmony, like I'm assuming Shinji is in harmony, a fully Vizored form is in harmony, I'm sure that he'll be able to tap into that full power. Currently he's kind of fighting it, so that's what's causing this. So like I mentioned before, Aizen had kind of pre-warned them of apart from Ichigo, there are two other people for you to technically be worried about, which was Urahara and Yoruichi. I did like that bit afterwards where Yoruichi, essentially you could see that she actually got hurt from the fight with Yami. She even said that they've underestimated how strong these Arrancars would be. So that's also, I think it's again a foreboding worry, because at this moment in time, even Ulquiorra, when they were about to leave, and he was like, I know you're trying to get me to stay, but basically we got everything we needed to get, which was the data I needed to collect. And even if you fought us at your full power, you've got other people here. You basically have bodies that you don't want to end up getting caught in our fight. And he even said to Yami, at your current state, these two are going to eviscerate you, so let's pull back at this moment in time. Because Ulquiorra was able to pick up what Urahara was trying to do when he attacked him back with his with the attack from his Benihime. But getting a chance to see the potential, not even potential, we don't even know how many Aizen has created. The previous episode, Urahara did say to Ishin that it will take about a year to get the full power, use the full power of the Hokyoku. Now, I'm a bit worried. These two are meant to be a completed version of the Arrancars. Does that mean there are further developed Arrancars, ones that are I know, near to perfection? Yoruichi clearly had a hard time with Yami. I could only imagine what Ulquiorra's full power would be like once he was at his full power. And on top of that, who knows how many more there are of these fully fledged, fully formed Arrancars that Aizen has under his belt. Again, he's out there collecting these pieces of data. I really did like at the end we saw when, because like I mentioned, I was confused in the reaction where the Arrancars had turned up, but I liked at the end that the Ichigo's old Soul Reaper gang all ended up in the world of the living to basically back him up, to give him some help. And that also included Rukia. So it's actually kind of nice in this arc we're getting the Soul Reapers coming to the world of the living, and previous arc obviously everyone had to go to Serite. So we are definitely gearing up for one hell of a battle. I like that we've been given a definite certain threat. We can see the struggle Ichigo had. Firstly, just trying to deal with the struggle within himself. That sort of inner monologue. You could essentially say his inner monologue, because I don't believe for him to reach his full Vizored potential, he needs to align and harmonize with the hollow that's awakened inside him, which he hasn't, because clearly that hollow is trying to overtake him, which is funny now that I think of it. If his hollow beats out, because he's like, you know, before you know it, I'm gonna overtake you, I'm gonna swallow you. It's funny because if his hollow wins, his hollow would technically become an Arrancar, if that makes, because that inner hollow is trying to fight to get the Soul Reaper powers. But then if Ichigo wins and ends up harmonizing and taming his hollow, he essentially becomes a Vizard, which is what he's. So again, that's really interesting, and that inner battle that's going on there is really interesting. I did see the original manga panel of what happened with Chad, and oh my god, it was brutal. I saw what happened to him. You know, clearly the anime couldn't get as it couldn't go to those extremes. However, like I said, I mean, it was still pretty bad, but having the Arrancars here, you could again get a sense of the real danger that they're in for. I love the animation switch up in the episode. I do like, you know, the more expressions that the characters showed, you know, the pain and all those things that they were showing on their face, which I'm assuming as it gets more violent and as we get into this, and I'm assuming this arc will be a lot more violent, it will pay off later when we get to see some of these animated. So I'm really excited now. We've got the Soul Society who have literally come to, or some of the Soul Society, the gang from the Soul Society have come to the world of the living. I wonder what Aizen's going to send next, if he's going to send more. I'm pretty sure he's got stronger people than Ulquiorra and Yami waiting in the wings. He's waiting to just unleash on them. And obviously I'm wondering if Ichigo will essentially, with his old pal Rukia back, I'm wondering if he's going to open up about what's happening, you know, because of the whole Vizard situation. And like I said, I really do see the Arrancars and Vizards are literally two sides of the same coin. It just depends on what you started off as. Essentially, they're both at some point or another have gained or were Soul Reapers. It's just depending on what side of the spectrum they went on, either became a Vizard. I truly don't know the true intentions of the Vizards. I don't know if they're essentially good people. I don't know if they're kind of like Basting Grey. Depending on the situation, you know, they'll do things to fulfill their motives. And then obviously you've got the Arrancars, who are clearly under the influence of Aizen, are looking to wreak havoc. But those are really good 2 episodes. I can't wait to see what happens next. And as always, like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.